Well, awesome. Well, I like raw and real. I don't know how many of the audience members do, but I think most of the most qualified audience members appreciate that, and they see like, okay, wow, these two entrepreneurs are willing to talk about, the good, the bad, and the ugly, the behind the scenes. I'm going to read through your report because I really like the extensive nature of what you provided with your form and the diligence, the honor that you gave us on that. And I
Sure.
think it's very helpful for people to understand the background. So, Dilip Dubey, your vision is to democratize the power of artificial intelligence so that business leaders, especially in mid-market companies, can drive innovation, scale profitably, and stay competitive without needing technical expertise or massive teams. His mission, Dilip's mission, is rooted in the belief that AI should be a tool for empowerment, not complexity. This vision resonates deeply with growth minded audience members because it bridges the gap between cutting edge technology and real world leadership. Dilip speaks from experience, having founded and exited multiple AI ventures and advised 100 plus organizations globally. He brings practical, actionable insights that leaders can apply immediately. His focus on clarity, simplicity, and ROI ensures that the
Mhm.
audience walks away not just inspired, but equipped to take meaningful action in their own businesses. I know that's up to me as well, right? How do I facilitate the questions to drive that? So Dilip's not just a
Right.
founder and AI strategist. He's also mentored over 22 AI startups, an advocate for ethical, purpose-driven innovation. And through his platform, Sutra.AI, he's helping leaders implement AI in weeks, not months, without hiring data science teams. He's passionate about making complex technology accessible and believes the future belongs to those who can align tech with human leadership. Dilip is always open to meaningful conversations and collaborations that drive positive business and societal impact. And you can learn more on the website as well as find him on LinkedIn, the website being dubey.ai. So we do talk to a lot of self-proclaimed AI experts in the world. I'm sure you run into them too, Dilip. And that's not a bad thing. It's like who's qualified to be a math teacher? I think anybody who's learning math is qualified to teach. Yet there's a big difference, in my opinion, between those who are experts and those who also know behind the scenes, the Sam Altman level, what's really going on,
Mhm.
and the Mark
Right.
Zuckerbergs, the Jeff Bezos, like these
Yeah.
guys,
Yeah.
they have completely different levels of access. You mentioned some exits in this process. Do you mind if we start there? What did the
Please
exits look like, and what years were they in? Was it all great and amazing? Are you multi-billionaire now because of it, or were there some ugly truths to it as well? I'd love to know more about that.
No, certainly, Jackson. So, I'll start with the first AI venture that I started in 2013. And
Whew.
now remember, this is 2013. This is pre-chat GPT. Me walking
Hmm.
into CEOs of big companies, multi-billion dollar companies, and telling them, I can solve your business problems using AI. And at that point, you can only imagine, and some of them later told me that, hey, we had a decision to make, like laugh at right at your face in that meeting or let you step out and then start laughing. It's like, and uh, because obviously nobody believed AI can have the impact. And we literally, the first company I started in, this is 2013, and that exited in 2018. We were able to save this company $43 million leveraging AI, but they could not sign a contract, Jackson, with AI written in it. We had to take out all mention of artificial intelligence for them to be able to sign a contract with us. And now we're
Hmm.
in 2025, where if you don't have AI written in a contract as a vendor or a software vendor, you probably don't get a deal because everybody's
Right.
looking for AI. So the world has changed. As you
Let
think
me
of
ask you this.
exits, yeah,
I gotta
sure,
ask you this on it too.
yeah,
Currently, it's unverifiable. At least what I don't know the company name. You presented an
yes,
idea of 43 million in savings. What's the company
yes.
name?
So that company, because it's always under confidentiality, I can't disclose the name of the
Okay,
company,
when I
but
have to tell
it's
the
a
audience, then
yes,
the
hundred
claim
percent,
the claim is not
hundred
verifiable,
percent.
audience. I'm
I
not even going
would,
to believe it
yeah,
until I
yeah.
know the proof of the evidence. So, are there
I
other companies that you're willing and able to talk about that are provable evidence?
Oh, certainly. There are
Let's go
many
there.
companies who have given permission. This is a publicly listed company and hence have some much more strict
Sure. Totally get it.
requirements. So, but again,
Yeah.
this is 2013. You talked about exits. If the company I started was bought by three private equity companies in New York, and
Is this
that's
verifiable though? Sorry, I want to make sure. Or are we still
100%
talking about?
verified. No,
Okay.
no.
Go
The
ahead. I just
exit
want to
is
make sure we
obviously
weren't still talking about
verifiable.
the non-verifiable one. So
No, no, no.
yeah, what is
So,
verifiable? So what's the company name and what's the background on it?
yeah, so the first AI company I started was called Xeeva, Xeeva. And that company started in 13 and then exited out in 2018, 19, or I exited out of the company at that time to three private equity companies in New York. So that was my first exit. And now, again, this is still pre-chat GPT, and it's an AI company doing procurement work for the world. A lot of so the exit was very good for the shareholders, everybody on the cap table. But everybody was still toying with the idea of, hey, what can AI be in 2019? It's only in
Yep.
2022, 23 that world changed and everything
Yeah.
became AI centric. So
So on
that
that
was,
exit, do you mind if
yeah.
I ask, was it 5 figures, 6 figures, 7, 8, 9, 10? For your side.
No, yeah, yeah. So it was close to a $50 million exit. So
Very
that's and obviously always confidential, but very very thankful for the investors who came together and invested. Certainly, post that event, I stayed with the company for a year and then stepped out. So
Wow. Well, congratulations to you. And
thank you.
that's a big move. As I'm sure you can understand in the world of so much unverifiable claims that
100%.
my
Yes.
audience, I got to protect them on the reality. So Dilip,
100%. Yeah.
you've been leading the world of AI since 2013. I claim to have started in the world of AI in 2010, but I downplay
Mhm.
it myself. It
Yeah.
wasn't with a specific intention of AI. I didn't even know the term, but looking
Right.
at all the things that we built, it's like, holy crap, we were building AI stuff without even realizing it. And
Yeah.
so it's neat
Yeah.
that you've actually had a clear vision around AI since then. And so, for the visionaries who are listening in, a lot of them can't even imagine a $50 million exit. Some of them are looking at, man, where do I find the $50 billion exits? We can go either
Yeah.
route.
Yeah.
But which, if you speak to other visionaries out there, what advice do you have for them? What insights do you have about launching and moving forward their visions?
So it's in this space that we are playing, especially in the AI world, Jackson. I think there is a big challenge between the hype things that are happening and then the real things that are happening. And I
Yeah.
have seen, and again, there is value, I believe, in especially in AI world, in still doing great foundational work, right? Which is you talked about Sam Altman, you talked about Bezos, and all the certainly Elon Musk. So they have, I think, in many ways cornered the market on foundational models, especially LLMs, right? So you have three, four, five, maybe seven globally that are amazing, and they're continuing to get better and compete with each other. Just Google just came out with a new release for Gemini, which is fantastic, and I'm
Yes,
sure
it is.
others will respond. So that is a multi-billion-dollar and maybe coming late to the party situation there. So if you are a ex-co-founder of OpenAI and you can raise $8-10 billion on a thought, certainly do that. And I admire that. So but the real value creation in my mind is happening in the application layer. And there's applying all these great foundational technologies to solve real world problems for companies. And if you slice it further, the near future opportunity lies with to me not large companies who already have divisions and lots of talent and lots of tools and solutions purchased, but mid-market companies who are struggling to figure out how to kind of narrow this continuously widening gap between their ambitions to use AI and getting to real value from AI. And this sector is ripe for value creation in my mind. So
Huge. And that's exactly what we were working on in 2010, and
great.
2011, both those.
Awesome.
I'm super happy to hear it, because visionaries, again, Dilip's unlocking some secrets that every venture capitalist that I've ever talked to, in a real setting, where we're talking, in depth about businesses, mid-target, mid-market, mid-market, mid-market.
Yeah.
It's always been that. So with Lloyd, who was written about in Alex Hormozi's book, $100 million Offer, we had developed a software for newspapers to be able to drive digital revenue streams, because they were getting
Mhm.
eaten alive by the online world.
Mhm.
And then
Mhm.
at Restaurant Connect, where Adam and I were building out software for reservations and dining room management, same thing,
Yeah.
mid-market,
Mhm.
trying to help the restaurants that were at mid-market level was
Mhm.
ultimately key for scale on both of those brands and companies. And so we're talking about the nuts and bolts. We're talking about the boring
Yeah.
aspects that get overlooked, not creating an AI that deep fakes my
Yeah.
photo into a ninja. Thank you, AI. That
Yeah.
was fun. Thank
Right.
you, Jim and I, for doing that. But
Right.
actually finding the practical realities of what are the pain points, what are the
Mhm.
weaknesses that these
Right.
businesses or that these brands or that people are facing that other people
Right.
don't want to acknowledge.
Mhm.
That's where the financial successes can come in. And so, visionaries, we're not talking about chasing money as
Yeah.
much as, if you yourself, even if you're not using AI right now, if you have 5 to 10 years of expertise in what you
Yeah.
do, you know the pain points, you know the challenges. You can start tying that to AI tools and to mentors like Dilip and say, how do I bring solutions to life for the people who are struggling with
Right.
matters that I have expertise in? Dilip, what are your thoughts on that? Feel free to completely haymaker me and say that's not what I meant, or feel free to run with me on
Right.
this.
Yeah, yeah. No, I very much align to that thought, Jackson, and I'll add a couple of elements to it. So if you think of what AI is today, right? So and I say this to all business leaders, right? All entrepreneurs, all visionaries. Well, AI is the first technology or a first software technology where you don't need to learn AI to use AI, right?
Mm,
And that is a game changer because all you need to do is to ask a question, and let's call it a prompt, and it
mhm.
provides you with fantastic response to that question at very deep level, depending upon how good of a question you can ask. Now
Correct.
guess who can ask really good questions? These are the people you just talked about, people who have
Mhm.
10, 15, 20 years of expertise in their domain. They really don't need to learn AI. They just need to learn to use AI. And by asking
Wow.
the right question, they can create tremendous value for themselves and certainly the stakeholders they may be serving. So 100%
Yes.
align with you there. And it's a great opportunity to create value now.
I love that. And this goes back to a saying that most of the market that struggles financially doesn't like, but it is a very strong and important truth to realize. The rich get richer. The rich really do get richer. This is a natural law called the compound effect. And we can't avoid it. You can hate the law. You can hate the law of gravity that it keeps you grounded, or you can learn to say, you know what, how do I use this law for myself? And so if you have a rich database of information in your brain to access, then you can utilize that with AI to be able to explore, how can I
Mhm.
maximize the data that I have, the information that I have, in order to create abundance for my life. It is amazing what
Right.
ChatGPT and what Gemini and what
Yeah.
other AIs can use for that exactly. So Dilip, let's dive deeper into the vision. Where
Sure.
where's your vision taking you?
Well, I think it's all about harnessing the power of AI to have real impact, right? And the real impact could be businesses, real impact could be certainly in the social context. And I think we are just at very early stages as a community, as a race, as humans exploring that. So if we can do so, I think we can create certainly much better and more successful businesses. We can certainly impact quality of human life. And I'm an optimistic guy. So with all the challenges AI produces in parallel to all the opportunities, I believe we will overcome those challenges and leverage this for overall good. And that's the vision that I buy into, a very optimistic future that I see with this vision.
So Dilip, what are some of the practical application layers that you see that we're on the cusp of cracking right now, or that maybe just came out and you're excited because it's actually usable?
Yeah. Yes, I think if you look at applications, they are in every function, every domain in the world. And to the point you were making earlier, Jackson, one element to think about here is mid-market businesses can become big businesses in an AI world. Um, I,
Yep.
I'm trying to recall the source of this information, but I think I was reading somewhere that there'll be going to be more billionaires, more millionaires
Right.
that'll be created over the next 10 years than ever in the human history because AI has that power.
I'm going to add a
Smaller
practical
companies,
example of that real quick, and
please.
then Dilip,
Yeah,
let's dive right back in
sure,
because I heard
sure.
the quote too, and it doesn't.
Yeah.
And I believe one of the people who spoke about this was the CEO of NVIDIA.
Hmm.
And granted, while he's got some of the most information on AI, he's
Sure.
got a bias, right, too,
Yeah.
that exists with that. But I believe it because of my own practical experience as well. So, guys, I'm going to show you two different systems that I built with AI that I have no business building, that I should not have the ability to create. One of them is
Sure.
for Wildwood's Retreat. Huge shout out to Sue Anderson, who's launched this amazing retreat in Tennessee. And we needed a calculator to build retreat experiences for brands. And so I literally built this with AI, going in and saying, hey, we want to be able to create an experience where brand owners and founders and culture teams can come in here and say, I want lodging for this many nights, for this many people, my check-in, check-out date. I want a keynote speaker. I want a full-time culture facilitator as part of this. I want photography included, etc. And we built an AI to help expand upon what are some of the liabilities to prepare around and how do we put together an itinerary. And so it even calculates in different levels of discounts based on the type of experience that you want to build out. This took me a few hours to build out. That's crazy. I would have literally charged a client over $100,000 to build this, and it would have taken at least 6 to 8 months to build it prior to AI, at least for my expertise. Another system, very similar. This is for my brand, but anybody can use
Mhm.
this. I've created a world-class advisor leadership training system. And what it does is it allows sales reps or customer support reps to put in a name and a brand to evaluate strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats prior to calling somebody. And then to know what are the responsible questions that I should be asking as an advisor to guide people through a process to find out, are they pre-qualified to work with us or not? And at the end
Mhm.
of the report, once you've recorded all of your notes and you've had this
Yeah.
conversation, you hit finish, it actually
Yeah.
gives you your notes. You can just drop it right into Go High Level or your CRM of choice. And it has built into it a first class advisor labs that I designed as an escape room style experience to teach people to become better advisors because it's just so stinking hard to find people who are great
Right.
advisors. So those are two examples of systems that now anybody could take those systems even and go to AI and say, hey, create me something similar. And
Mhm.
boom,
Mhm.
it's going to create something based on your, it's crazy what we're able to duplicate and create these
Yeah.
days. Those are
Yeah.
two applications that
Right.
if I get ahead of the market on it and I launch it, nobody else cares to pay attention to what we're building with it. Those are both 50 million, $100 million projects. So Dilip, again, feel free to dive into the application or feel free to just continue to expand upon what we're talking about.
Yeah, no, I think that, by the way, thanks for sharing those. That's fantastic. But the AI has progressed to that level where you could literally prompt to get to a application outcome. And again, you being in the space, it's not really that simple. There's still dots to be connected
Oh
after the
gosh.
initial work. But still, the time is gone from 6 months to maybe 6 days or certainly 6 weeks.
Back to
Um,
painting, to your point, and I don't mean you get me so excited, Dilip, about
yeah,
this.
yeah,
It goes back to that story of Picasso, where somebody says, "Can you paint me this?" And then they say how much it costs, and he says it's ten
yeah,
thousand dollars. They say, "What? It only took you 10 minutes." And it took me
yeah,
20 years to guys. It took me 15 years of working with
yeah,
brands to be able to create something that sophisticated.
yeah, yeah,
But yes, it did only take me 4 to 6 hours of tinkering. I've spent about 20 to 30 hours optimizing it. But again, these are those applications that if you have the expertise and you're willing to dive in and learn from it, and you're willing to, and then go to mentors like Dilip, like, hey, bounce these ideas off of them and be like, hey, how do we work together on stuff?
right,
Incorporate men
right.
like this into your life so that they can guide you on creating more abundance and success. So yeah, you nailed it. It's not
Yeah.
that easy, but it is available.
And I think you and many in your audience already know this. So to build an application, you need at least three components, right? So one is just to get your data right, correct?
Hmm.
Second is to build that application in AI, and then the third one is to make sure it integrates with the systems, external, internal, so it is usable where you need it, right?
Mm.
And in these three components, this is what has changed in an AI world. Well, who can get your data AI ready? Well, AI is the best technology to get your data cleaned up, indexed,
Yeah,
and in the tech world, create embeddings and make sure it is right and leverageable by your AI application. So that is great advancement in itself to have the data, which used to take forever. You just shared some fantastic examples of leveraging AI to be your assistant or partner in building out application, but you certainly put your domain knowledge and expertise on top of it, without which this probably won't be
it
feasible,
would be
just in my
worthless.
view. Yeah.
Yep, it would be
Um,
worthless.
a-
We've tried. I've actually done
right.
that with experiment with people. It's not the
Absolutely.
same.
Right. And then you have to, if even if it's externally or internally facing application, right? If you're solving a scheduling problem on a shop floor, or you're solving a lead gen marketing or qualifying lead problem for the external world or your sales teams, they have to integrate with other systems in your business. If these three things can
Absolutely.
happen,
Absolutely.
you can have immediate impact. And there's
We are
one,
feeling the pain right now, Dilip, of
yeah,
not integrating it properly. Right.
yeah.
We really understand that at first class business, and it is such a challenge to over. And the nice thing is, it's easier to overcome these days because you can use systems like ChatGPT to help you understand, well, how do I integrate this, or what all goes into the
Yeah,
experience of really
yeah,
providing this in a world class way,
yeah.
and it can help you see. It makes you want to cry. You're like, oh
Right.
my
Yeah,
gosh, I still have to do all of this. But at
yeah.
least we have clarity these days. Whereas in the
Correct.
past, you were just like shooting in the dark.
Right. And the component after you build these three is probably the most interesting part of it, is because
What's
if
that?
you build the AI application, it is learning. It's getting better every second.
Mm,
As you collect more data, it's getting more sophisticated, it's learning more. So there's no versioning thing in AI in my
mm,
world, but like as this model is getting more data, is evolving, suddenly the same application can do so much more, can go so much deeper, can be so much more insightful than where it started. Now remember, starting point already is amazing, right? The value creation
yeah.
is amazing. But few weeks later, a few months later, as leaders, as domain experts, as visionaries, you start realizing, oh my God, I'm solving a much bigger problem, or I'm solving
Right.
things that we didn't think could be solved before. And I'll give you an example of one of the companies in my portfolio, and they built this mid-market platform where from data to value they can go end to end for mid-market companies, and they thought they were solving scheduling problems on the shop floor, budgeting problems for financial institutions. And I walk into this company, it's about a $70 million company in Sterling Heights, and their head of sales stops me. And he said, well, I want to talk to you about Sutra.AI, which is the company's platform. And I'm like, why would somebody in hardcore traditional company sales want to talk to me? He cornered me for 20 minutes and explained how he has changed the way he's selling to his customers, because he actually opens this AI and all the application that they have on the platform and start taking every objection their customer
Yeah.
has away, and then sits back and say, well, can you really even multi-bid this? Because I'm the only one who can do this today.
Yeah.
And that was profound for me. And this person has absolute zero AI background. And
Yep.
he went from a AI unaware person to an AI believer to an AI evangelist, like in 6 months.
Dude, that's
And
huge.
this,
That's
yeah,
exactly. Every time a company comes to me and says, "How much is it going to cost for?" I say, "Let's just open AI. Let's just open
yeah,
ChatGPT.
yeah,
I don't want to
yeah,
fight you on this.
yeah,
Let's just do what it says about things. And you can use yours. You don't have to use mine. So it is. It
yeah,
is super helpful from a validate. And what it's doing in that regard is it's actually helping us kill transactional relationships and move towards being able to empower true transformation. And that's, I don't want to do business with somebody based on numbers. I want to do business with somebody based on them inspire me. So I know we're actually over time right now. I'm
yeah,
super grateful, Dilip, that you stuck around and that you're willing to do this. I hope that I inspire you to stick around more and come back more. I would love to talk to you again. I'd love to pick your brain and explore what's possible in this world. We got 8 billion people, visionaries, to help in
yeah.
this world. And those of us who are willing and able to get after it and build great legacies and make an impact for better, there's just so many opportunities when we have the chance to join forces. I know, Dilip, you've got lots of people in your network already, and lots of
Yeah.
things that you already have going on. But if you're inspired to do so, we'd love to have you back on the show, and I'd love to again connect with you personally about the projects that we have going on. If somebody else in the audience wants to connect with you, what's the best way to do so?
Just Dilip at Dubey.ai. So DUBEY.ai is my site. You can come there or just email me, and I'll love to continue the conversation. And Jackson, thank you
That's
so
all.
much for having me. This was fun. So great to see you're
Yeah.
already doing fun things in this world. Super inspired, and would, of course, be a honor and pleasure to be back.
Oh, we're excited, man. Vision Pros, you heard it. We'll see you next time on Vision Pros Live. Thanks for being here, everybody. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Thank you for being here today. I'm really happy that you tuned in to Vision Pros Live. I'm looking forward to seeing your reactions as these episodes continue to move forward. This is going to get more and more fun. We'll have more and more engagement as well. We'll invite people to participate in the show. And thank you for giving us your time and attention. Have an excellent time building out your vision and becoming a Vision Pro yourself.